This is just going to be a quick demonstration video of what we would be able to do if we could corrupt or disable or whatever one of 3 Hans triggers in Rockslide. Because basically all tokens in Hundo have a big issue where you have to do all of the Rockslide tokens before Now the Men. However, a ball storage effect could force Ring Macho to be moved later in the run, which would just be amazing, and we would get time save from whatever ball storage effect in the first place. A task skip does not seem to exist, unless I missed something. We know for a fact that we can disable Hans triggers, seemingly only one at a time. We can also move the XYZ axis of them, it's also seemingly one at a time. So either way, if we could disable it, corrupt it, whatever, basically just the equivalent of it doesn't exist, then that'd be great. There are like 28 Hans triggers or something, but there are only 3 that are worth corrupting. I have safe stated all of them, and then I'll just show like a demonstration of like how it would work in a run. This one I'm quite disappointed in. I just couldn't figure out a way like to make it more optimal. But you would just drop down here for a while. I think this is Trig 11. I'm getting rid of Trig 02, Trig 03, and Trig 11. And I think this is Trig 11. So you just drop down like that. This still saves a lot. This is shortly before, like, the V-shaped stack and the jump scare. So this will save quite a lot. However, it would also mean that you can't do Skydive. But then again, like, who's doing Skydive and Macho? So that's the first one. The second one, it would work great as well if I could talk in 100%. Because here it is, right? So ideally, you would grab the extra, and then you can immediately do this. This is the biggest one. This, I think, is Trig 02. Obviously, I'm not going to do it super optimally, but you can see it's not that precise. I missed it. Well, but you can easily, like, you can see, right? So that one would be a big one. And then finally, Trig 03, which would be around here, so you could just do this. You have to be slightly careful, but from around where I jumped seems to be generally safe and luck. And we can do all of that. This one is the one that saves the least, and I have to go very out of my way to test this one. Because you would have to manually check these unless you, like, look through memory. So yeah, I estimated, because the second one I showed, that is the one that would save the most time, I estimated that the maximum number of non-SB loads you'd be able to test is about 12 before it would start losing time. You would initially lose a lot of time. I estimated, well, I timed it to be 10.5 seconds. Like, loading out of Rockslide and then loading into Rockslide later loses 10.5 seconds. I did factor that you don't get Mindy Stare anymore, but even then still loses 10.5. And then it didn't factor, like, where you'd set up ball storage and, you know, all that stuff. But assuming it's a 0-second setup, because there are a couple ways where you can get extremely fast setups, then yeah, I believe it'd be 12. It would be worth testing Plain Sponge, technically, but obviously the main thing, or even, like, Disco and all that, but obviously then it's only affecting 100%. What we would want is for it to affect as many categories as possible, in which case we would want Default or Mermaid Man. Yeah, that's basically it. So, yeah.